Good morning. Today is March 19th, 2020. Today was supposed to be the first day of my vacation. But on Monday, this past Monday, the 16th, my vacation to California, San Francisco, was canceled. Now, my lovely wife, Luann, gave me this trip as a Christmas present this year. She knows how much I miss seeing my family who still lives out in California. And I'm pretty hard to shop for, and so she scheduled it over our wedding anniversary, which is tomorrow, March 20th. I was so excited for this trip and so disappointed when we finally had to pull the trigger this past Monday and call the travel agent to reschedule. Due to the coronavirus, San Francisco was essentially shut down. And as I was sitting there trying to make sense of a very surreal experience, my head was spinning. I run a private counseling practice, and I had my schedule cleared for the next 10 days. Now what? What should I do next? Well, I pondered the possibility of opening my schedule back up and calling all of my regular clients, those who were going to miss some sessions in my absence, and see if they wanted to get back on the schedule. I was stunned, to say the least. The coronavirus was now hitting pretty close to home. I felt that frustration, the disappointment, maybe even a bit of anger that so many Americans are feeling today. And maybe just a bit of fear. This was getting real. And as fate would have it, I had the TV on, watching the news, which I rarely do, but I felt a bit compelled to, as things were happening rapidly, and I wanted to keep up. And sure enough, the headline news confirmed the lockdown in San Francisco. But what really caught my eye was the local news. The state of Indiana received the mandate for the suspension of all dining in at restaurants and bars, which is really happening across America. They interviewed a local establishment owner who looked like she was really fighting back the tears, as she told the reporter that she was going to have to break the news to at least half of her staff, many of whom were trying to make this server job their first or second job, just trying to make ends meet. And her last statement was even more ominous. She said something to the effect that, "I'm not sure if we're going to survive this. I'm not sure if any of us will have any jobs to come back to." And then next up was a national news program. And the channel I was watching, can't remember which one it was, showed a clip of an establishment owner somewhere in another state. Now, I believe the name of the establishment was the Hope Cafe, and this person was responding to the crisis by continuing to prepare food in his cafe as usual, and then bag it up into to-go packages and hand those packages out to anyone who wanted or needed a meal. All they had to do was show up and pick them up at the curb. There was no charge for the meals, but any donations, of course, would be accepted. The reporter doing the interview asked the owner, "How long do you think you can keep this up?" The answer by the owner was swift and to the point: "Until the crisis is over or I run out of food, whichever comes first." That was a pretty moving piece for sure. And as I reflected on what he was saying, my brain fired up. In that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I'm going to donate my vacation time to anyone who needs it. And I immediately went to work on hatching my plan. I have 10 days ahead of me, this being the first, with a completely blank schedule. Of course, I was going on vacation. And since I'm used to working 12 to 14-hour days, it's pretty doable to donate about 10 hours a day over the next 10 days for a total of 100 hours for this cause, to anyone who needs some help dealing with the stress and the anxiety of what's going on in the world today and in their lives. And for me, it was game on. So now I'm getting ready to donate 100 hours to the cause, and an additional 10 hours per week every week until this thing is over. That's right. That amounts to probably around 10 grand if you price my time out at about $100 an hour, which is actually only 2/3 of my asking price. and another 1,000 a week until this thing is over. That's the least I can do. But please understand that I'm providing this free service for people who are stressed due to the coronavirus, worried or panicked about the situation. The free service is not being offered to help you resolve that conflict you have with your wacky mother-in-law. So for issues related to the coronavirus and related issues, yes, this is free. For anyone else, you can still join me, but for the standard fee for my counseling services, which I will explain later in these videos. So, all correspondence is going to be handled on a first-come, first-served basis. All inquiries will be acknowledged with an estimated wait time. And again, the free therapy that I'm offering is going to be delivered via my PVC platform, Premium Virtual Counseling, which is thoroughly explained in the videos that I have on my website on the PVC page. Now, this delivery system uses videotapes on my website, which I'm creating right now, to transfer information, combined with a personal coaching from me via an audio message or voice message system or text message or email. So as the user, you can use email, text message, a voice message, a voicemail to participate in this virtual conversation. I love to get the voice messages and voicemails because I really want to hear your voice. And I'll always use a voice messaging or voicemail system myself because it's 500% more accurate and it's 500% more efficient. That adds up to about a 10 times or exponential gain in accuracy, effectiveness, and efficiency, while at the same time eliminating the schedule. So in this platform, I'm not including telephone or video conferencing, which would really limit the number of people that I can talk to, down to about 100. And with this proprietary blend of videotape presentations and customized personal audio-taped counseling sessions, also known as PVC, I can stretch that same 100 hours to reach thousands of people, perhaps more. It gives me an exponentially larger reach without compromising the quality and integrity of the coaching one bit. And it eliminates the schedule, which makes things so much more efficient. So, as a side note, any sort of telephone or video conferencing sessions are always available to anyone who wants them, but they're not a part of the free assistance that I'm offering. Those would be appointment-only sessions that have to be scheduled in advance. So the process is actually very simple. If you're interested, I invite you to view the PVC tapes first. Go to that tab on my website, look at those tapes, and then let me know if you have any questions. Just text me, send me an email. The number's on the website. It's 260-415-5967. And the website, if you're watching this, you're probably on the website, but it's takechargecounseling.org. And if you agree with the process, which really only states that you don't have a mental health problem, you're not schizophrenic, you're not suffering, from dementia or suicidal, things like that. It's thoroughly explained out there. And if you give me your consent, then all you have to do is read the informed consent, send me a text message that you're in agreement, and we're good to go. Now, this tape and the next tapes, the series of tapes that follow this message, are where the coaching conversation begins. You follow through the tapes, and then you start the conversation with me, because the tapes will give you a lot of information, and then I will be able to coach you through the rest of it. So keep in mind that this special Corona program is being constructed right now and taped in what I'm going to call a hyperspeed fashion. Normally, I take months to put together a series. And this one I'm going to put together in just a couple of days. So it's not going to be polished. Expect mistakes and flaws. I'm not taking those out of there because I'm most interested in function over form right now in this time of crisis. So there you go. If you're interested, please shoot me a text or an email. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, and I will direct you from there. So welcome aboard.